Party till the sun come up, and that's like 6 or 7. Drinking like we'll never get to heaven. Pray for my homies, but I always give shit to Kevin. Pull up and stun gas pedal, keep the engine revving. My league of gentlemen just turned into a coalition. We love the enemies, the enemy is prohibition. My women love to wear black, I only know the switching. She love the majestic of coach and say it's so delicious. Superstitious over prison, even the 4 kids, hocus pocus go ballistic. Feeling alcoholic and wearing no religions. Bless the homies, we smooth so you know we ninjas. Going Shinobi, I'm cool, but you know we switching. Walk in, drink gin on the rocks. Sip, take a swig of my fear to the west. With my crew like we trying to pull fish on the docks. I'ma throw out the line, I'm a real and a chick.
Welcome back, y'all. It ain't been that long. I know it's been about 24 hours, just about 23. It is what it is. But I appreciate everybody that's coming through, checking it out. It's Monday, March 2nd. You're watching morning. I'm just fucking with you. We're watching One More Round Fights, baby. I'm the host of this here channel. My name's Gaff. I do this shit every day of the week, it seems like. I give you guys Monday Matchmaker, TKO Tuesday, Hump Day, Thursday. We got some new shit dropping. Don't forget about Thursday. Thursday, some new shit dropping. New shit dropping Thursday. Friday, CP Unit. Saturday, watch alongs on. Guess what? Our other channel, Main Card Minute. Sunday, we give you guys the live chat, which we gave you. I mean, every day we got you covered. What more can I do for you people, huh? You guys, I see you more than my family. I see you more than Dakota. All right? Show me some love. Follow the channels. One More Round Fights everywhere. One More Round F8 on X. That's how you live follow when I'm tweeting the fights, specifically UFC and PFL fights. You won't catch me live tweeting a boxing fight unless nothing else is going on. Okay? So if you're looking for those, your cheeks assed out. All right? We're trying to get to 800. Please scan that QR code. That'll subscribe you to the channel. That is One More Round Fights right here. And yeah, we're growing. We're trying to become something. If you could be so kind as to not be a dickhead and subscribe and like the video below, that would be pretty cool on your part. Honestly, you might be my new best friend. You might be. So please scan that QR code, subscribe to the channel, like the video below, become part of this family. Yes. Guess what we're here to do, y'all? It's Monday, bitch. I mean, we already talked about the fights yesterday. If you're a subscriber to One More Round Fights, we already recapped everything. We recapped boxing. We recapped MMA. We recapped fight announcements. We did everything. So what do we do on Monday? Monday, we matchmake. We set the next steps for some of these young up-and-comers, for some of these guys that have established themselves in the game. Again, the light's still not working. Fuck you, Aperture, by the way. Aperture and Elon. Both Elon Musk and Aperture. Both your products, both you suck fucking ass. You suck ass, both of you. Jeez. This shit the bed hasn't came back yet. So I got to go buy me a new fucking light. Here we go. Another 200 putting into this podcast. Here we go. Let's put some more money in. But anyways, yeah, we matchmake, baby. All right. I'm Sean Shelby, Mick Maynard, Dana White. Take a load off. Take a load off. You sit back. You put me on the TVs, the YouTubes, the phones, whatever you got going, the iPad, and let me do your job, brother. Let me do your job. I got you. And if you're sleepy, you're hungover, whatever you got going on, just come back to this channel. I'm a matchmake for you, baby. Take the week off. I got you. One more round fights. One more round fights. But before we do any of that, let's talk about the matchmaking that has happened. All right, because some fights have been announced, and obviously I don't include fighters that have been, their fights have been announced. This is just how I rock. LT's Commode in the house. He says, happy big card fight week to everyone. Let's get this matchmaking. Let's get it, baby. Let's get it. But let's talk about what's been said so far. So let's start with the earliest dates. First, we should talk about this coming weekend. All right. If you don't know, now you know. Drew Dober versus Michael Johnson has been added to UFC 326. We get to see a banger. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Drew Dober versus anyone with skin of color? Sign me up. Michael Johnson in any fist fight? Sign me up. I'm ready to go, bruh. Yeah, 326. We got an added banger. People were hating on the depth of this card. I was cool with it. Man, I got Max at the top. I'm cool, brother. I'm all right. I'm doing fine. Okay, I get to see Max Holloway fight on Saturday. You could have Baby Bob versus Oscar the Grouch on the fucking card, and I'm watching, brother. All right, Max Holloway is at the top. I ain't crying about the rest of the card. All right, that's just how I roll, though. If I have a good main event, I don't give a fuck on the way up. I'm still seeing people fist fight, right? This is the UFC, the highest level of the game, right? I don't care. I got Max, baby. I'm good to go. But let's talk about these other fights. Undefeated Mario Pinto gets a new opponent for UFC London coming up. He's no longer facing Mick Parkin on UFC London on March 21st. Okay. He's taking on Octagon newcomer Felipe Franco. All right. So anybody looking to see Pinto Parkin, MP versus MP, you're sorely mistaken. You get to see different type. Sorry. PFL news, PFL Pittsburgh, full card announced, headlined by Johnny Eblen, Brian Battle. That's right. UFC veteran that was cut for outside of the cage and weight miss issues. Brian Battle. He takes on Johnny Eblen, main event, March 28th, PFL Pittsburgh. Let's fucking go, baby. And on the very same day, the UFC adds Terrence T-Rex McKinney to the UFC Seattle card, headlined by Israel Adesanya and Joe Piver. So I'm super excited about that. I don't know about you guys, but T-Rex, king of the under 1.5, my guy. Oh, yeah. Not my personal guy because he still hasn't answered, me asking him to come on the show. On Instagram, T-Rex, you should probably look at that. But anyways, T-Rex McKinney, UFC Seattle, March 28th. That's less than 4 weeks away, y'all. Just saying. Sean O'Malley's protege, Tommy McMillan, Tommy Gunn. He's making his UFC debut against Manolo Zucchini. UFC Vegas 115, April 4th, this 2020. Wait, what? Didn't he make this? Didn't this happen? Am I tripping? Did this not happen? Unless it's supposed to be April 26th. UFC Vegas 115. Sorry, April 4th of 2026. Am I tripping? Maybe I'm tripping. I could have sworn he fought in the UFC. Maybe that was Contender Series. Maybe that was Contender Series. I don't know, man. I could have sworn I seen him fight in the UFC. No? Okay. Joshua Van defends against Tatsuro Taira, UFC 327, April 11th. That is April 11th, 1 week from UFC Vegas 115. April 11th, UFC 327, Joshua Van defends his flyweight championship against Tatsuro Taira. Last picking up a big TKO win over Brandon Moreno, who we just saw fought a couple days ago and lost. That's in Miami for anyone who cares or anybody making flight bookings. That's in Miami. Couple other fights added to that Miami card. Miami throwing the money at it. It's heating up, baby. The Incredible Hulk, Josh Hokett. He takes on former title challenger Curtis Blades at UFC 327, the most high-profile opponent, the biggest jump of his career, the toughest test by absolute fucking far. Curtis Blades is not to be trifled with at heavyweight. Okay? Josh Hokett's taking him. Big balls on that man. Take on Curtis Blades after fighting somebody that you KO'd with a middle finger this past June. Oh, sorry, January. It's crazy to me. You got some balls, brother. You got some balls. That's a crazy fight to take. And last but not least on the UFC 327 card, Kevin Holland, Randy Rude Boy Brown. Yes. Randy Brown, New York stand up. We got one. I think we're going to catch Holland on his. You guys know my theory on Kevin Holland. He has a cycle, so to speak. Let's see where he's at in the cycle. It's like 2 losses, win, 2 losses, win. You know what I mean? He's like, oh, fuck, I got to make some money. Let me get a win here. Double up my paycheck. And guess what? Fuck. He's on the end of his 2-loss streak. He's due a win. Randy, you took him at the wrong time, brother. If you don't believe me, go look at Kevin Holland's record. If you don't believe me, go look at his fucking record. 2 losses, win. 2 losses, win. 2 losses, win. 2 losses, win. I don't fucking make the rules. I just follow these bitches, bro. We already know. We already know the trend of Kevin Holland. That's what's happening. He's going to get a win his next time out. Unfortunately for Randy Rude Boy Brown, he's next in line. He better hope for that no contest because Kevin Holland pretty much going to get this win, and I'll be betting that. Couple more matchmaking updates here before we get into our matchmaking ourselves. Gilbert Burns versus Mike Malott set to headline UFC Winnipeg, April 18th. That is April 18th, 1 week from UFC Miami. Yeah, full slate this first third of 2026. Gilbert Burns versus Mike Malott, headlining UFC Winnipeg, April 18th. Sean Brady versus Joaquin Buckley, set for the April 25th UFC Vegas main event. That would make it UFC Vegas 116, I believe. April 25th, Sean Brady, Joaquin Buckley, smaller cage. I got to think that favors my boy Joaquin. I wish I had that photo already of me and Joaquin. That shit on my hard drive somewhere, which is broken, by the way. Yeah. Jack Della Maddalena versus Carlos Pradas set to headline UFC's return to Perth. That's UFC Perth, May 2nd. Jack Della Maddalena, Carlos Pradas. Fighting fucking nerds. Yeah, you know who I'm rocking with. You know who I'm rocking with this weekend, too. Caio Borjas is who I'm rocking with. All right? Yeah. Jack Della Maddalena, Carlos Pradas, fighting nerds. City Cape, whatever, Australian, whatever. May 2nd. And last but not least, the biggest news of the entire last week, in my opinion. Yuri Prochazka set to fight Carlos Ulberg, not Alex Poatan Pereira. Carlos Ulberg for the UFC light heavyweight title at UFC 327. Main eventing. I didn't bring it up back then because this is so huge. I had to save it for last. Okay. Yeah. Miami. UFC 327. Prochazka versus Ulberg. headlining the event. Poatan vacates, which leads us all to think that he's going for that third belt. He's going for that heavyweight belt. Against who? Is it Gunn? Is it Jones? Is it Aspinall? There's so many names, so many possibilities. Guess who just made heavyweight great again? It's the same guy that made light heavyweight great again. It's the same guy that brought life back to the middleweight division. The savior of the higher weight classes. That's right. We're talking about Alex Poatan Pereira. And if you don't put some respect on his motherfucking name, I want 5 rounds with you, bro. All right. That man has been saving the UFC higher weight classes for years now. Thank you, Poatan. God bless you. Brazilian Jesus, we like to call him over here. I mean, he's doing God's work. He's doing God's work. Thank you, Poatan. Making us care about heavyweight at a time we're like, oh, God, here we go again. We can't even get a heavyweight main event for the title finished. This guy's getting surgery. This guy can't find an opponent. This guy wants to go down and wait. This guy just got cut. Thank you, Poatan. They don't make them like you anymore. They just don't. They just fucking don't. And that's it for matchmaking updates. Without further ado, let's go to why we came here. We got 40 minutes before MK. Let's do it, shall we? Let's get into some UFC Mexico City matchmaking. Let's start with the top. We have to start with the top, right? It's only right. I don't think anybody expected this to happen. Let's be honest. Did anybody expect this to happen? I didn't. Did you? I didn't expect Loner Kavanagh to beat Brandon Moreno by unanimous decision. 49, 46, 48, 47, 48, 47. I didn't. Did you? I didn't. I didn't see it coming. Short notice fight. Short notice fight. And you did that, Brody? That's what you won't do to us? In Mexico? You won't do that? Pretty even on the strikes there. Didn't feel like that when we watched, though. It looked like Loner was way up. If you need the pictures there for help. But those significance, smacked him up on the significance. You know what I mean? Those are their averages below, the percentage below, by the way. Pretty even. In a short notice fight, by the way. And you see that? Stuffed 8 takedowns from Brandon Moreno. Nobody does that. He usually gets at least one. Look at Moreno. At least one. Tyra didn't go his way, but he got finished. It is what it is. Gets one on Steve Erceg. Okay, not the hardest person to take down. It is what it is. Amir Albazi, he was trying to keep it off the ground. Brandon Royval gets 3 on him. Even on the champ, Pantoja got 2 on him. Figgy Pop got 3 on Figgy. Kai Car France didn't get any, but, you know, it is what it is. And Figgy again got 1 on Figgy. Brandon Moreno is a tough motherfucker. And Lonnie Kavanagh said, I'm the guy now. I'm the captain. It is me. And I didn't expect this shit. Now, I thought, especially after being taken out by Charles Johnson, Lonnie would, look okay. He'd look okay, but he wouldn't have that type of performance. Motherfucker had that type of performance, big dog. So I don't even know what to do with him. I feel like we have to give him somebody young and a little bit fresher now. We gave him somebody old. We're like, oh shit, he's got speed, he's got power, he could keep these guys off of him. We probably shouldn't give him too many old guys. I mean, you know where my head's at? Asu Amabayev. Their timelines match up. Okay. Their timelines do match up, and neither of them have a fight booked. Neither of them have a fight booked. It's a good test. Asu Amabayev able to take him down. We'll see that takedown defense tested. We'll see that submission grappling defense tested. Okay. And the same goes for Amir Albazi. Well-rounded. We're going to see parts that Moreno was unable to test. And that leads us to believe, does Moreno have a lot left? Especially after that type of performance. He didn't look terrible. The judges thought he could have stole around here or there. It was 48-47 on 2 scorecards. But to us watching, that wasn't our Brandon Moreno. Let's keep it a buck. That wasn't our Brandon Moreno. That was, I wouldn't say a shell, but that was definitely, a couple of the outer layers. That was some crust and some fucking, that was a couple layers to go with it. I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't just the shell, but it was damn near just a shell. I mean, I didn't like that Moreno. The takedowns, he looked like he wasn't close on any of them. Not even one. I mean, he was laying a couple strikes, but the power, all the damage coming back from Kavanagh. Yeah, he's younger. Yeah, he's faster. But Moreno, he's been a tough puzzle to solve for anybody at flyweight. Unless you go to his weakness would be the ground game, which we've seen Pantoja exploit. We've seen Tyra exploit. We've never seen Moreno get outclassed on the feet like that. Even when he TKOs you. Shout out to Kai France. So I don't know, man. We got to see how much of this name we got left. And I'd like 2 guys that have gotten kind of a raw deal at flyweight have the opportunity to get some of that name off of Brandon Moreno. And if they can't do it, well, then we get Brandon Moreno back in the mix. Alex Perez or Charles Johnson. I like Alex Perez, Brandon Moreno. I want that. Alex Perez proving to us that he can hang with some of the top guys, that he can be exciting, find finishes, get himself a good win over a top opponent. Charles Johnson has been sending back these young dogs. Didn't get to this last time out. He got an older dog. Let's give him another older dog, see what he can do with it. So one of those 2 guys should fight Brandon Moreno next. I don't think we should give Brandon Moreno a top 5er, so to speak. Okay? That's what I like to see. And if we look at the division, let's take a look, shall we? Let's go to what flyweights. And if you guys aren't using the site Fight Matrix to check out some rankings, I mean, you're missing out hella crazy. You're missing out hella crazy. Okay? Let's go ahead and take a look at our guys. Loner Kavanagh, Brandon Moreno. Any of these guys got fights booked? Horiguchi doesn't have a book, but we don't want that. Tyra obviously fighting Van. We could see his next fight there. Pantoja, injury timeout. Cop, not sure what's going on. Kavanagh just fought. Royval just got finished, taking some time off. There's Kaikar France in the mix. Tim Elliott just got booked, I'm pretty sure. Steve Erceg in the mix. Amir Albazi doesn't have a fight booked. Asu Amabayev doesn't have a fight booked. Both sitting at 14-15 on the total flyweight rankings. This isn't the UFC rankings. But I like that. Let's see if the UFC rankings. Let's check out these UFC rankings. Here we go. Yeah, Sulamabayev and Amir Albazi 7 and 8. I know he just beat 6. I know Kavanagh's unranked and just beat 6. He's going to jump right above those guys. They might even show them respect and put him right below him at 9 or 7 or 8 if those guys move up. And Moreno goes down. But what I see happening is one of those 2 guys, Amir Albazi, Asu Amabayev for Kavanagh, and Alex Perez or Charles Johnson for Brandon Moreno. That's what I'd like to see next anyways. Can't always get what you want, though. We know this game. We know this game. You can't always get what you want. Let's talk about David Martinez and Marlon Chito Vera. This was a unanimous decision. Man, Chito, I really thought Chito had enough. But he's, again, classic Chito, starts slow. Sorry. Classic Chito, starting slow as hell. Gave away round 1. Hard to win a fight coming back from behind, you know? It is what it is. David Martinez, solid performance. Not the performance I would have liked to see out of him, especially in that 3rd round. We've seen that he could take somebody that's really good at striking, keep it on the feet, do what he needs to do to get the win. I'd like to test his grappling. Now, most people would probably, go higher echelons of the division, guys that have been mainstays of featherweight. Yeah, all that. Yeah, cool. Fuck off. I want to see some new shit, dude. No offense, but I want to see some new shit happen. I know this guy used to be a featherweight, but he's down at bantamweight now. He's a grappler. He would be a solid test. He's sitting around the range of these same guys. Not a lot of people are going to like this, but I like to see Bryce Mitchell and David Martinez. Bryce Mitchell's going to be able to take it down to the ground. Bryce Mitchell's going to be able to test this guy at bantamweight. Okay? I don't know, man. I don't see anything out of David Martinez where I'm like, ooh, I'd like to see him against Nathaniel Wood. Like, I'm good. And I think Wood went up to 45ers, right? Unless he's back at 35s. But, this is featherweight. This is why I'm tripping. This is bantamweight, right? Yeah. David Martinez. I don't know. Bryce Mitchell down at 35 seems like a good test to me. Size, because, again, Chito was a bigger bantamweight, but Martinez dealt with that size pretty well. You're going to have a bigger guy because he's coming down from featherweight, seeing if he can impose his size, his will, with his grappling on you down at bantamweight. I like that matchup a lot. Bryce Mitchell, David Martinez. And as for Marlon Chito Vera, boy, do I have the bout for you. Are you ready for this? You guys don't see this, but I see it clear as day, and I'd love to see these two bang in the middle. Vinicius Oliveira, Marlon Chito Vera. These guys are both on the same timeline, and if you put them in the cage together, this fight cannot be boring. This will force both guys into a fun fight. I mean, Vinicius is never in a boring fight, let's be honest. But Chito can sometimes backfoot it to where the fight becomes boring. Vinicius Oliveira never lets you stay on that back foot. I mean, he's coming forward, and he's making you fight too. I got to see that. I got to see Vinicius Oliveira and Marlon Chito Vera. And if you take a look at these rankings right here, look at that. Ooh, Bryce Mitchell in the mix too right there. But yeah, Marlon Chito Vera just under Bryce Mitchell right there. I mean, just over Bryce Mitchell. Vinicius Oliveira right under Bryce Mitchell. You know what I mean? This is solid matchmaking to me. I don't know about you guys, but I would love to see it. David Martinez sitting above. I know he just beat Chito and he should be looking up. But I mean, what are we giving him? Figueiredo? What are we giving? Zahabi ain't looking down at him. Sadong ain't looking down at him. Bautista ain't gonna fight him. He's looking up. Everybody's looking up. Wicklack's okay. Solid win at the end. That might not be a bad matchup. Also a guy that could grapple. I'm not mad at at entertaining Wicklacks either. I'm not mad at that either. But for me, Vera was a little bit of a test where Vera almost won that. I don't think you give somebody above Vera for that type of performance. I think you give somebody below. I'd like to see Bryce Mitchell, brother. I'd like to see Bryce Mitchell. That's what I'd like to see. Bryce Mitchell, David Martinez, Vinicius Oliveira, Marlon Chito Vera. If you don't like it, it is what it is, man. But that's what I'd like to see next. That's what makes sense to me. It makes sense to me. Moving on. King Green. Bobby King Green gets a huge win over Daniel Zellhuber. Okay, maybe not huge. Solid win over Daniel Zellhuber. All right. Veteran savvy. Michael Johnson did it. He did it. We seem to know that a quick or crafty striker against Daniel Zellhuber seems to be his kryptonite. Wily vets seem to be his kryptonite. It is what it is. It is what it is. We got to give him somebody young or give him another vetish test for Zellhuber. But for me, the matchmaking for King Green is pretty obvious. Luke said it on stream. We've been sowing the seeds into the fucking soil. The winner of Johnson and Dober. That's a fresh matchup if Johnson wins. We've surprisingly never seen Bobby King Green take on Michael Johnson at lightweight. That's never happened. They've never even been booked. So that would be a fun matchup between two guys at similar echelons of their career. And if Drew Dober somehow seems to get the win, well, Drew Dober knocked out Bobby King Green. And that would be a fun matchup. And I'm sure a fight that Bobby would love to get back. So that would be a great matchup either way. I'd like the winner of that fight to take on Bobby King Green. And as for Daniel Zellhuber, I mean, tough L, vicious TKO here. I mean, you've been taking some shots in these last couple guys from these old vets. Them left hands ain't been treating you right. See what I did there? Trey Ogden. Somebody that's going to try to grapple you. Yeah, he's going to try to ground and pound you, but he's going to try to get you down there. We'll see if you can keep the fight on the feet and have the better striking of the two guys there. I'd like to see Trey Ogden and Daniel Zellhuber. And if we don't get that, well, we have a matchup where either of these younger guys I'd like to see take on Zellhuber if they lose. Okay, so the winner goes on to bigger and better things, but the loser of Chase Hooper and Lance Gibson Jr., I'd love to see take on Daniel Zellhuber, the loser of that matchup. Gibson Jr., also former opponent of Bobby King Green. Chase Hooper never matched up, never fought. Either of those would be a solid matchup. Matchups been making themselves. Former opponents been setting themselves up. Just makes sense. Okay, so those are the matchups I like for either of those guys. Moving on. Edgar Chairez and Felipe Bunes. Buns, we like to call him. He loses a split decision, 29-28, 28-29, 29-28. This was a flyweight. You're probably not even going to know half the names I say. So I'm gonna give you guys two names that may still be on the radar, possibly not. For Edgar Chairez, I'd like to see Jose Ochoa take him on. Jose Ochoa, bigger flyweight, fun style, keeps the fight in front of him, tries to land big shots. I'd like to see him take on Chairez. If he could keep the fight on the feet, Ochoa should have the cleaner strikes and better damage. If Chairez can get it to the ground, we've seen Ochoa on the ground. If a guy can control him, it's a problem for him. So that would be a solid matchup next to flyweight. What happens if Chairez can't get him down? Can Chairez hold his own on the feet? He was able to with Bunes. Will he be able to with a guy like Ochoa who lands heavy, real heavy? And for Felipe, let's give this guy a bone, bro. I mean, let me go over to flyweight real quick before I bring in the motherfucking chart and shit. But let's give this guy a bone, man. I mean, Felipe hasn't surprised anyone, hasn't shocked anyone with what he's brought to the cage in his last few performances. But this guy took a fight on short notice, came up short, took a fight against a very well-known name, came up short again. I'd like to see him get a decent matchup style where we could see what he has to his game, because he clearly has gotten the short end of the stick a couple his last few times out. Let's be honest. But let's go with Hyung Sung Park. Hyung Sung Park, bro. Hyung Sung Park has gotten a raw deal since coming to the UFC. I mean, he got Tatsuro Taira on short notice. Tough out to take. Okay. I mean, oh yeah. Your first fight after 6 months. Oh no, shit. Your first fight in 3 months. We're gonna give you Tatsuro Taira short notice. Yeah, he lost by submission in round 2. Then he goes on to take on Bruno Silva in October. Submission round 3. Oof. Not looking too hot. Now, no surprise, Felipe is going to try to get it to the ground. He's a submission guy, too. This will be his third and final test. If he gets finished by a guy like Felipe, walking papers might have to be handed out or at least considered. But this layup type of fight, in my opinion, given Hyung Sung Park, Felipe, I'm into that. I'm into that wholeheartedly. So I think that's the best course of action, the best next fight for both of those guys. If you don't like it, it is what it is. Who is Edgar Chairez and Felipe Bunes anyways? Let's move on. Imanol Rodriguez versus Kevin Borjas. Imanol showed a lot to me in this fight, brother. Showed a heart, showed grit, showed a chin, showed finishability, showed willing to get after it. Showed, honestly, everything that the bosses talk about, everything that Dana talks about in those tough speeches, Imanol portrayed that fight. And no surprise, he's from tough. And no surprise, he also fought at Dana White's Contender Series. This man has been forged through the fire in the UFC already. And he's what, 6-0, 7-0? Yo, shout out to Imanol, DC's favorite fighter from tough, Imanol. Shout out to Imanol, bro. What a win. Round 2 TKO, 4 minutes and 21 seconds. Let's give him a solid fight against a young guy, Clayton Carpenter. Clayton Carpenter's going to try to get this to the ground. Imanol's trying to put some hands on Clayton Carpenter. Clayton Carpenter could keep it on the feet. Imanol wants it on the feet. I'd like to see that fight. And as for Kevin Borjas, tough one, man. You look pretty good at first. You look pretty good. I'm going to match you up with somebody that looked pretty good in their last fight until they weren't anymore. Gianni Vasquez. Gianni Vasquez last took on Javid Basharat. I'd like to see that fight. Kevin Borjas, Gianni Vasquez. All right. That seems like the next matchup. Moving forward, Santiago Luna defeats Angel Pacheco via unanimous decision 30-27 across the board. We just talked about it. We're matchmaking pretty easy right here, which is why I went right into this one. Javid Basharat. I want to see Santiago Luna, Javid Basharat. I need to see both of them against their kryptonites. Okay, Santiago Luna. Heavy-handed. Javid Basharat proved somebody with heavy hands could find their way into a fight against Javid Basharat. Okay, so I'd like to see Santiago Luna and Javid Basharat. And as for Santiago Luna, Angel Pacheco didn't have the greatest amount of volume. Santiago Luna was able to put it on him and overwhelm him. Javid Basharat would try to do that to him. I'd like to see Javid Basharat and Santiago Luna. I feel like that would be a fun fight. Both guys facing their supposed kryptonites. Okay. And for Angel Pacheco, we've seen him against a striker. I got to see him against a grappler. This guy can strike too, though. We've seen him put his feet and his hands on somebody. Shout out to Carlos Vera. Carlos Vera. He puts you to sleep, brother. With his hands, his arms, or his feet. Carlos Vera, I'd like to see that. I'd like to see if the grappler will stop his offense. I'd like to see Carlos Vera and Angel Pacheco. I'd like to see those two guys battle it out. Okay. Next, Ryan Gandra defeats Jose Medina via TKO punches. Round 1, 41 seconds. I know there was another up-and-coming middleweight on this card. Keep these two far away from each other. Let's not break our toys too early. I don't want to see Gandra matched up with Penis. I don't want to see it. Okay? Keep Penis away from Gandra at all costs. All right? What I'd like to see Gandra go up against is, in the past, I might have said somebody like Cody Brundage, to be honest. I'm like, yo, if Cody can stop him and keep this fight, make it go long, blah, 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 blah. But I'd like to go with the new Cody Brundage. the person that I think of as the new Cody Brundage. And I don't know if he'll take that as a disrespect or whatever. No, I don't mean it as such, but I just mean somebody that's tough at middleweight that can test somebody if they're ready to even take on, not even upper echelon, lower echelon middleweight fighters. That would be Andre Petroski. He could test you, put you on your back, because obviously you have pretty good hands getting somebody out of there in 41 seconds, especially Jose Medina, who's tough as all hell. And if he gets you to the ground, he has a really good ground game where he can finish you. He'll let us know how good your game is on the ground. Andre Petroski, fantastic on the ground. I'd love to see, and still very young in his fight career as well. So I'd like to see Andre Petroski versus Ryan Gandra. And if not Andre Petroski, well, this guy got a pretty big test in his last fight, kind of came up short. Zach Reese, he's on a similar timeline. Zachary Reese, I'm sure nobody thinks of Zachary Reese as a middle-tier middleweight. No offense to him. Probably lower tier. He would be a solid test for Gandra to see what we got with Gandra as well. And if you don't like that, then give him a fucking Contender Series guy. What do you want? What do you want from me? All right? But keep him away from penis. One thing I know for sure, we got to keep Ryan Gandra away from penis. Okay? As for his opponent, Jose Medina, I don't say this a lot. I usually have somebody to match you up against somewhere. But unfortunately, this is 3 knockout losses, 3 in round 1. We got to cut you, man. This doesn't show me UFC caliber. We got to cut Jose Medina. It is what it is. That's the game we're playing. We're not here to make friends. We're not here to get people hurt. We're here to make the best fighters fight the best fighters. And unfortunately, I don't see Jose Medina of that echelon. Let's move on. Let's go back to these UFC rankings, shall we? For this next one, because the rankings, they matter a hell of a lot in this one. Okay? And I was looking at the wrong rankings for a really long time. But I got my shit together and realized what weight class. These ladies are at bantamweight. Eileen Perez defeats Macy Chasson via unanimous decision, 29-28 across the board. I know y'all saw the torque afterwards. It's a meme forever. I know y'all saw it. Couple things here. First, we're going to look at the landscape of the women's bantamweight division. Shall we? Let's take a look here on your left-hand side of the screen. You'll see that Eileen Perez is at number 7 and Macy Chasson is at number 8. All right, so not a lot of movement here. If any, there's probably going to be none. Ladies are going to stay exactly where they're at after this fight. Okay, it was a close decision where it just went one way on one judge's scorecard. Well, all the judges' scorecards, but you know what I mean. Took one judge to separate them. Okay? What do we do with that? Well, we got to see. All right, let's go back to that first. Well, we're not going to give her a top 5 after that performance, right? Like, Yana Santos would probably be our best bet, but like, Ketlin Vieira, Norma Dumas, Raquel Pennington, Juliana Pena, we're not looking at that for Eileen Perez. No offense to her. She's a solid freaking win. Solid freaking win. We ain't looking at that shit for you. Okay? Kayla Harrison, looking at the GOAT of the female divisions, Amanda Nunes. She ain't even looking at Pena. Pena ain't looking at Eileen Perez. She wants the loser or the winner of Harrison and Nunes. Okay, Norma Dumont's booked against Yana Santos, who's ranked just below Eileen Perez here, but actually above her in the UFC official rankings. Okay, Ketlin Vieira booked against Jacqueline Cavalcanti, as you can see there, booked up. Jennifer Maia, where the fuck was she even in the rankings? Carol Rosa, we're not doing any of that. Now, Jocelyn Edwards, she's already faced off against. Okay, and she's beaten Jocelyn Edwards. So we're not looking. I mean, Jocelyn will probably load that fight back, but they're both on winning streaks. Jocelyn on a 4-fight win streak, and Eileen now on a 6-fight win streak. Okay, and Cavalcanti's booked. All right, so I just went through the entire fucking division for you, and that leaves no options for Eileen Perez. So guess what we have to do with her? We have to give her Irene Aldana. Irene Aldana. Don't be mad. Don't kill the messenger. That's who she's getting, unfortunately. And Irene Aldana is sitting right above her at number 6. So this is a slow climb. You don't believe me? Take a gander for yourself there. She's sitting right above her. Irene Aldana right above Eileen Perez, right there, 6 and 7. So that's the only matchup, and it's the next progressional step that makes sense. So that's what we're doing for Eileen Perez, Irene Aldana. It's a no-brainer. As for Macy Chasson, this lady just moved up. I want to test her size still. I know she's held her own at bantamweight. I'm still a little shaky on it, okay? And this will give her an excellent opportunity to break into the top 10, especially when a lot of these ladies are booked or just coming off of fights. This makes perfect sense to me. And some of these ladies have been around a hell of a long time and should not be matched up against her. I like to see Macy Chasson and Luana Santos. Give her another one of those twerk ones. Give her another one. All right. Luana Santos, she just moved up. There's a good chance for her to test her size against a solid striker in Macy Chasson. Luana Santos also going to want to be able to get this to the ground. Macy Chasson, an opportunity for her to fix some of these holes, some of the things she learned in this fight against Eileen Perez, make the fight a little closer against Luana Santos. I'd like to see that fight. Macy Chasson, Luana Santos, now that she's come up to bantamweight. Okay, let's see if that weight holds up. All right. And that's what I like at bantamweight for those ladies. We got 5 fights left to matchmake for. We'll do these quickly. Christian Quinones versus Chris Moutinho. Ended in unanimous decision, 30-27 across the board for Christian Quinones. Lawrence Louis. Christian Quinones proved if somebody wants to strike with him, stand with him, he could bang with him and then take them down. What if you get somebody with a gas tank that's well-rounded, that could test your grappling, like a Lawrence Louis? What does Christian Quinones do with somebody like that? I'd love to see that matchup next. If not him, why not Vince Morales? We know Vince Morales, always fun, would love to bang. He does have a ground game as well, really solid on the ground. Vince Morales would be a solid matchup for Christian Quinones as well. As for Chris Moutinho, I know some people are going to call for his cut. Like, he wasn't good the first time. Now he's losing again, blah, blah, blah. He's always a fun fighter, guys. He's a fun fighter. We like fun guys that can make even a low weight class interesting. Okay, I say we give him one more shot. I say we give him a shot against somebody that's pretty much on their last leg at this point. I mean, losing, not looking so great in a fight that they were favored in, missing weight, making weight, and then fucking collapsing on the scale or whatever the case was. I forgot what it was in his last fight. Face planting, making the UFC look bad on a fucking broadcast. Cam Smotherman, bro. Cam Smotherman, Chris Moutinho. I need that. And I know Cam Smotherman might move up because what was this, bantamweight, where he had a weight issue, so he might move up to featherweight. But then again, he was saying he had a fine weight cut. He had no issues, so he didn't know what that was. He was getting with some nutritionists and, doctors of that sort to figure out what was wrong. But Cam Smotherman, man, both of these guys are pretty much on their last legs, haven't been doing so well in the past 6 months with the promotion, whether it be just in the cage or outside the cage. I think Chris Moutinho, Cam Smotherman, that'll be a solid bout. And Cam Smotherman, heavy hands. Chris Moutinho would love to oblige. We've seen Smotherman's gas tank be an issue. Chris Moutinho seems to ramp it up as the rounds go on. It would be a solid matchup to see what we have left in either of those two guys. Chris Moutinho, Cam Smotherman. I feel like I cooked. I ate with that one. I feel like I ate with that one. All right. Javier Reyes and Douglas Da Silva de Andrade. Or whatever. Gabriel Santos for Javier Reyes. All right. I need somebody that comes forward. I need somebody that's durable with a freaking ground game. Okay. With any bit of a ground game. No offense to Douglas Da Silva de Andrade. But I need somebody with a ground game to test this man. I know Javier looked fantastic, but I need a bigger test than that. You faced a 42-year-old man, sir. So I'm going to need you to fight a nice young up-and-comer that's durable, that could take these shots, that could get up from the bottom, that will take everything you throw at him, that will be bloodied at the end of this bout and find you with the decision. We'll see who's got the better gas tank and who could take it to the end. Gabriel Santos trains with Charles Oliveira. I need that. And for Silva de Andrade, Yadier Del Valle, they're on similar timelines. I don't know what I have with Del Valle. I don't know what I have with him. He faced somebody that might have been with some betting allegations, so the easiest win of his career. Then he goes up against grappling savant, apparently. What's his name? Jordan Levitt. I don't know what I have with this guy. Are you a grappler? Are you a striker? What the fuck are you? So give him Douglas da Silva de Andrade. And if not, give him Eric Silva. Eric Silva just took a L to Francis Marshall. So if we're not doing that, then just match up the two losers on this card that got finished in round one. Douglas da Silva and Eric Silva. Let's just do it. Okay? I'm excited for this one. Hold on. Hold the fuck on. I'm excited for this one. Let's talk about it, shall we? Let's talk about it, shall we? We have her listed as a bantamweight. This fight was at 130. And for some reason, they're putting her in the 35 conversation. They even have her ranked here 35ers now on this website. Not in the UFC yet. I don't know what they're going to do with her. Because that was a 130-pound fight, and she looked like she had some extra weight on her. So I expect her to be a 125er. But I'm going to matchmake her for 2 weight classes here. Okay, I'm going to matchmake her for 2 weight classes. For bantamweight, Regina Taryn. I like her against Claudia Segula. This will be a nice chance. If she's going to be a bantamweight, Claudia is a solid bantamweight that I believe used to be a flyweight. That'll be a solid way to see how they match up against each other, see what we have there. Claudia's been able to hold it all 15 minutes. So that would be a good test, right? That's a bantamweight. At flyweight, similar timelines. Juliana Miller just fought last weekend. Wait. Yeah, right? Houston? Yeah, just fought last weekend. Grappler. Be able to test Regina if she could get Regina down to the ground. If not, she's tough enough to make it all 15 as well and mix it up and maybe steal around off a girl here. So, yeah. And if we're not giving her Juliana Miller at flyweight, maybe like an Andrea KGB Lee. If we think we really have something with her and we really want to see what we have left in her or what we have with her and we want to see what's left in KGB, Andrea Lee would be a solid test because Andrea Lee is tough. She's heavy-handed. She's got a gas tank that'll take it to the end, and she'll be coming fiercely towards the end. Maybe test the chin of Regina as well. That would be the first one that could test her chin. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that at all. And for Ernesta Caraquete, Vanessa Demopoulos or Julia Stoliarenko. All right, I got to see, she's got kickboxing acumen. She held it on the feet with Regina. She started to do some good work with her knees and her teeps towards the end of that. I got to see her against a grappler. Vanessa going to try to get it to the ground, going to try to take her back, hold her down there, get some good top control. Julia obviously only has one game plan that we've ever seen her use. So, yeah, she's going to try to armbar you or some shit. I got to see that. We got 5 minutes left, 2 fights left. As for Francis Marshall defeating Eric Silva via submission, rear naked choke, round 1, 2 minutes and 29 seconds. I got to see him against Christian Rodriguez. I got to see which grappler can be more dominant, which guy can use their B game to their advantage better. Okay, because obviously both these guys want to get you down and control you, maybe sink a choke on you. They have the same game plan, same style, same build even. Francis Marshall and Christian Rodriguez. I'd like to see which guy has the higher IQ. Christian Rodriguez, Francis Marshall. And I already said it before, Douglas da Silva de Andrade against Eric Silva would be a solid matchup. Both of them lost on this card in the first round. Both have similar things to fix. Both, what more to say? But if not him, Sebastian Zalai is not a bad matchup. Sebastian Zalai, solid kickboxer. I'd like to see Eric Silva go up against a kickboxer like that. You know what I mean? I know he got sent to hell by our boy. But, yeah. Nakamura, shout out to Nakamura, Kenshiro Nakamura with a beautiful KO of Sebastian Zalai. But yeah, I'd like to see Zalai versus Eric Silva. I wouldn't mind that. And last but not least, we got a matchmake penis. Damian Penis defeats Wesley Schultz via TKO strikes, round 1, 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Thank you for that over. I got to see Penis against a striker. And if I don't see Penis against a striker, well, I got to see a grappler against Penis. I got to see one of those two take Penis on. All right, Penis just needs a good test. Penis needs to see if he can go long. Penis needs a solid matchup that could stand in front of him and just make him stand tall or make him wilt. You know, I got to see what we have left in Penis or what Penis can do against some of these better guys. All right, so Damian Penis, I like to see him against Cesar Almeida. Okay, kickboxing background, solid. Damian Penis, all power Penis versus Cesar Almeida. Or I'd like to see him against Marco Tulio. Marco Tulio will try to get this to the ground and smother Penis. He'll try to keep Penis down, not let him get back to his feet and get the finish. But I think Penis could get the finish against Tulio for sure. So that would be a grappling or a striking test. Striking test in Cesar Almeida, grappling test in Marco Tulio. But like I said earlier, keep Penis away from Gandra, keep Gandra away from Penis. I don't want to see either of those two face each other. All right, two young middleweights, a lot left in them. And for Wesley Schultz, give him Jordan Santos, bro. Give him Jordan Santos. Jordan Santos last fought Danny Barlow. You know, that was a solid bout. I'd like to see Jordan Santos and Wesley Schultz. And that's it. That's the complete matchmaking for the entire UFC Mexico City card, bitch. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Let's see who is in this motherfucker. Sorry, I had to get through it because we had limited time and MK starts in a minute, but I'm going to get through the chat now. Cosmo says Perez versus Moreno is a good matchup, right? Alex Perez, Brandon Moreno. Matchmaking King will be interesting. I know that, but you know, we have that Dober Johnson matchup. It makes itself. So we'll see what happens there. Lona versus Royval International Week, if they are still doing it, is a certified banger. But I feel like Royval might be taking some time off after that. I mean, he got put out quick. And usually you don't want to get right back in there when you get put out quick like that. Usually when it's like, oh, yeah, we fought 4 rounds and he knocked me out. Like, okay, you know, he finally got me. It was cumulative. But when you just get put out real easy like that, you got to take some time off. Cosmo says, we didn't learn anything new from Cheeto or Martinez. That's what I didn't like from this fight. Yeah, they both pretty much did the same thing. That's why I'd like to see David Martinez take on my guy and see how much we have left in him. Because if he takes on Bryce Mitchell, at least we learn if he has some ground game, if he could get to his B game or something, you know. Morning, guys. Working today, but got the stream up in the background. Appreciate you, Kyle. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, with them one more round emojis. Meat Rocket, don't worry, I'm here. I love penis. I know you do, Meat Rocket. You have 69 at the end of your name. Come on now. I know you love yourself some penis. Laugh out loud. Meat, says Kyle. And then I believe in Medina, he's actually a pretty elite fighter. Shout out to Meat Rocket, ultimate troll. And then Cosmo says, Alan might fuck around and get an ass whooping from Amanda Nunes. Oh, shit, I never put this up. And fuck around and might get an ass whooping from Amanda Nunes. And then give Medina a top 15 lightweight. I'd watch that. Stop with Medina. Medina's gone, brother. 3 first-round KOs in a row. This isn't tied to Ivasa. All right, this is Jose Medina. Okay, and we're not coming back to Mexico for a little bit. All right, he's gone, brother. Octopus No Friend says, what? I didn't get a notification. I mean, it's Monday, baby. He throws out the smoke emoji. You got to set up my boy Penis. You know I did. And then Cut West Schultz. He's ass cheeks. He only got one fight. I think that was his first fight. All right, you know, give him a shot. Give him Jordan Santos. And then Cosmo says, have a great Monday. Everybody else have a great Monday. Go enjoy MK. Have a great rest of your week. I'll see you guys tomorrow for TKO Tuesday. TKO Tuesday will have a lot, guys. We have Mexico. We have Houston to cover. I mean, it's a lot. I'll see you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Don't forget, scan the QR code. Follow the channel. Follow on socials. Like the video on your way out. All right. And that's it for me. Enjoy your week. I'm getting out of here. Deuces.
set the high, never mind, you know, cause I have my eyes low, watching televised, half-ass rappers that should be lucky to just survive.